Welcome back to your favorite talk show, Teenage Mistakes. Miss Blessing, back to your question. You made mention of a teenager being someone who cannot fend for his or herself. You get. So I want to ask you a question. If a child within the age of let's say 5 can fend for himself or herself, where do you place that? Is that person a child or a teenager? Or is there really a clear difference between a child and a teenager?
Oh no, you cannot even go right up to the point of a child of 5 years. Like I said to her, like let's take a father of the age of 60 years, right? and that father can really reason very well. Let's say that father can, in fact, the father is the president of this nation. Can you say because Mr. Pobia is reasoning very well, according to some people, you can say he's a teenager? Or maybe some people will put it that he does not reason anymore. People take decision for him. Is he really a teenager?
Wow.
Okay. Wow, this is so interesting. While I was giving this definition, I listed a number of things there.
Okay.
I said someone who can't fend for himself.
Okay.
Someone who can't reason
Okay.
out things for himself. So, looking at what you just asked me, Miss Cassandra, someone you said someone who cannot fend for himself, and the person is 5 years old. 5 years was not even, it's not within the range of teenager as we had ere long defined it.
Okay.
5 years is not involved.
So obviously you're not even to conceive the idea of it's just somebody who cannot fend for himself.
So you're kind of accepting the fact that it's about age, but it's also about maturity.
It's also about maturity, and she also mentioned someone of 60 years old. And if we want to look at these things psychologically,
All right.
you get me? The more we age, the more our reasoning faculty depreciates.
Definitely.
Yes,
definitely.
it depreciates. So, someone can still be of that age and don't reason well or reason too well.
Of course, and that's exactly my
That's
point.
what
That's exactly the point. Because I'm just saying, because the more you age, the more your reasoning faculty drops, right?
Yeah.
So when you get at the age of 60, 70, 80 above, you're actually reasoning very low, but it doesn't really make you a teenager.
That's just biological. We are talking this one. It's biological. Do you know something? With this, right? We have to look at life with the function, because people age with function. People age biologically. There are varieties. You get me? So when somebody is older, that person has aged biologically.
Okay.
And we cannot term that person to be like to be a problem, because actually that's just the norm.
The person cannot actually work well with their physical abilities. They cannot work well with their
biological. It's biological.
Wow.
And really,
It's getting better.
I'm understanding your point, Miss. The thing is, what you're trying to tell us, or what you're trying to make us believe, and the people watching believe, is that somebody who is a teenager is somebody who cannot reason for himself or fend for himself. And that's what I'm saying. If you're above 60, you're getting weak. You cannot do some things with your physical abilities. You cannot do some things with your mental abilities. You're getting weak. You're getting depreciated. Does that make you a teenager? Because you cannot fend for yourself mentally. You cannot fend for yourself financially. You cannot fend for yourself in many aspects. Does it make you a teenager? Because you said a teenager is somebody who cannot fend for themselves.
if you were actually getting me right, you won't be asking me this question you're asking me right now.
And then I think the whole conception now is really getting twisted in your own mentality.
Of course.
Yeah.
And if you get my own point of view, it's not like I want to boast about it. I'm actually a nurse here.
Okay.
And
I see.
I do psychology.
Okay.
So that's why I'm struggling to explain this thing to you, that people normally we age according to our function biologically, and anybody within that age range is biological, and I cannot tell that person to be a teen, because it's just normal.
Just type it on Google what the UN they say about people who are teenagers, and I think in Google the people or the organization as UN as a whole, they have professionals there that are psychologists, that are doctors and whatsoever. So if they can say teenager is somebody within the age of 10 to 19, it means they have studied the same medicine you're talking about.
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Josiane. Thank you very much, Miss
I refuse your
It's
point.
very explicit and we understand what you all are talking about. So straight away we'll be moving to the second question on this favorite talk show, and it's actually going to be the definition of teenage mistakes. Alright, straight away to the very first speaker. What do you understand by teenage mistake?
I thought you were going to give me a break since I was trying to emphasize on something, but it's cool. I'm good with it. Thank you. If you ask me what teenage mistake is all about, I think if we can agree that teenager is somebody within the age of 13 to 19, then we can say teenage mistake is what people or children or teenagers within that age range make, the kind of mistakes they make, maybe the kind of wrong decisions they make, the things they get involved in they are not supposed to get involved, and that it will have to affect the society or affect the people around them negatively. So I think that's just a mistake.
All right. That's great. That's great. Miss Blessing, do you agree to that? Or you have a contrary view?
No, I agree to her point, and that would bring us back to my first definition of being a teenager. So I agree to her point where she says it's someone who teenage mistakes in general. It's the mistakes we do while we are within the age range 13, 19.
Alright, you all see how it's getting really, really interesting out here. Remember to drop a comment on what you think, on who you think a teenager is, and what you think teenage mistakes are. Alright, so we're moving up to the next panelist who's going to talk. Mr. Les B1, what do you think teenage mistakes are all about?
Thank you very much for my own aspect. I think concerning teenage mistakes, when we talk about mistake, like she was saying, I somehow understand her point now when these questions are coming. When we talk about mistakes, yes, it's actually a mistake that is done between that age range, between 13 to 19, as she said. But actually, when we talk about mistake, it's a normal phenomenon. Because whether an adult or a teenager, we all make mistakes. So that's what I can say for now. Thank you.
Okay. Everybody is prone to mistakes. That's what we get from that. But we are targeting teenage mistakes. We want to highlight some of these mistakes that we as teenagers make, which is not really the best. And we're trying to curb those. So we're going on to Powerboy. Let's get your perspective. What are teenage mistakes?
Teenage mistakes. If you want to answer this question, generalizing it will be vague, kind of, because there are a lot of teenagers in the world, and what we may think as our mistakes is not the same how you would think as is a mistake. You know?
Okay.
And the way Africans will see mistakes in the teenage age is different from the way the Europeans or the Americans will see it. So I feel, to me, the mistakes that we know, that we should know as like the mistakes we do as Africans, we all know that we're growing up, we have parents who train you that this is good, this is bad, and as a Christian you need to know that this is good and this is bad. So to me, within that thing, what you do that is not accordance with your age range, like it's a bad, it's a mistake.
Or that affects your environment.
I told you this man is a true African. I told you he's a true African.
Whatever you do that is not in accordance to your age range. Wow, I mean, I'm really learning a lot from you. Drop a comment, let's know your thoughts. All right. I mean, wow. Let's move on to the next question. Let's move on. We want to know now the types of mistakes we as teenagers make. You understand? Because just saying mistakes, there are so many mistakes out there. But first, let's go for a break and we'll catch you back.